Hi, for this Easter video, we're going to talk about how to turn bread dough into Easter buns. We have a rabbit from the back, we have a side-on bunny, and we have a cute little chick. They all start with bread dough. Your bread dough you can make by hand, or I actually made this in the bread machine, whatever's easier. There's all kinds of recipes for dough, whatever you want for your personal taste. So the first one we're going to make is the big bunny from the back side. Now, dough is very elastic, and that means it stretches, but it also means it wants to go back to its original shape. So it's kind of hard. You can't just stretch it. It requires a lot of working. One of the best ways to work it is to let gravity help you out here. So we're making a rope. It says about 14 inches long. Somewhere around that'll work. Okay. I'm just going to roll it to make it a little bit rounder. Okay, so we have our snake. We're going to fold it in half, cross over, and twist. And there we have our first bunny. And then he has a little dough ball for a tail. Now you may notice that this bunny is a little bit smaller than the other one. Could be because I made it smaller, but it's also because these other ones have started to rise already. Okay, so for our next one, I find it easy to just snip the dough. Ripping it works just fine too. We're going to make the bunny bun. I make these in my house with a very sweet dough, but any bread dough will work. The principle's the same. So we're doing the same kind of thing, but this time our rope's not going to be so long. Just trying to work it, let gravity help us out a little bit. I'm just kind of rolling it and stretching it, working my way down. So that's about all I need for this one. Just round it out a little bit. Okay, and then we're just going to wind them up. And actually, he's just a smidge too long. And that's his front paws. So there's his body, and we need his head. Making his head into a teardrop shape. Just flatten it out a little here. So there we go. And I'm just going to snip down my handy dandy kitchen shears. And there we have his head. So we have our bunny. And you need to make sure these two pieces stay touching so that when they rise, they will be joined together. And you just stick an eye in. I just kind of roll the raisin a little bit. And there we have it. And for our last one, I'm going to make a little chick. So I'm trying to keep this one, trying to keep the top smooth, because otherwise it will have stripes in it. And so I'll just snip off the bottom. And roll it up a little bit. And there we have our dough ball. And he requires a whole almond or 2 slices, which is what I happen to have. Oops, that one's broken. We'll try this one. Making his beak just a little bit open, and a chocolate chip eyeball, and another chocolate chip eyeball. add him to our collection. And being yeast doughs, they all need to rise again for a little while. So I'll show you when they're ready to go in the oven. So it's been about half an hour. These guys have been resting and rising, covered under a towel in a warm place. It doesn't need to be, shouldn't be hot, just somewhere where there's not a draft. And they've about doubled in size. And I do see that I made that first bunny a lot bigger. So they often suggest an egg wash. I'm of two minds about an egg wash, so I will let you decide. I will do half with an egg wash so you can see what happens, and half without. So the egg wash is just an egg and a little bit of water beaten up and brushed on. Try and make sure that you get all the way down to the bottom because it will continue to rise in the oven. So there's that bunny done. I'll leave him alone. I'll brush this chick. The other thing you should note is that the chick in particular lost his beak. It came right out in the rising, which is not surprising, and the chocolate chips came close to coming out. So I actually took a knife and inserted them again just a little bit deeper so that they would stay. Same thing happens with the eye of the raisin on this bunny too sometimes. So I'll just do these guys in their egg wash, and then they will be ready to go in the oven and bake for about 20 to 30 minutes at 350. Since the size is pretty variable, you might want to keep an eye on them. So here they are, baked. Took them 20 minutes at 350. I forgot one thing. I added a little bit of kosher salt on the tail of the bunny. Just looks kind of cute. So you can see the difference in the glazed. This one's glazed, and this bunny is glazed. So you can decide what you'd like for yourself. Happy Easter!